Essentially, the purpose of photography is to communicate and document moments in time. When you take a photograph and share it with others, you're showing a moment that was frozen through a picture. This moment can tell someone many things, from the environment to what people are doing. Those emotions come back again later as you look at the picture. I take a photo a year later or even longer, I come across it and instantly I'm lost in that moment again. I like looking at old photos my family and I took. The different backgrounds, the clothes we wore, the hairstyles we thought were going on, all sorts of different reasons. Photos help to inspire yourself and others as well. They help you express who you are. The photo doesn't even have to be a good photo, a banger photo. Think about it. When you go to take a picture of something, usually you're taking a picture of something that is important to you. Something important that is happening in that very moment of your life. Welcome to a new chapter of Tates Travel, Tates Talk. Pictures are memories. Hey guys, I'm Marcus Tate.
I'm Amy Tate.
And this is Tates Talk, episode number 5. Pictures are memories.
Yeah, so today we're going to get into a couple of stories that maybe you might have seen on some of the videos, maybe you didn't, but just kind of get our take and what we thought were some really good pictures that just brought back some great memories.
Yeah, we take a lot of pictures and we don't always show them on our videos. But we were just sitting around the other day and looking through all the photos, catching up on our trip, and they're just bringing back all kind of memories. So we felt like talking about them. So here we go. I have no idea what she's going to say about the picture. She has no idea what I'm going to say about the picture. We did pick them individually, but we do kind of know already what the pictures are, but yeah, you'll see. So let's start with picture number 1.
All right, you're up.
Is this mine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is a picture when we came into Floribama, which is on the border of Alabama and Florida, of course. That was our first stop, making our way out west. And Amy, as soon as I pulled into the parking lot of the old grill restaurant, which is right across the street from Floribama, Amy jumped out of the van and ran over to the sign. Welcome to Sweet Home, Alabama. Of course, she loves the movie too. But she ran over there, and so I had to chase her over there and take some pictures. I just thought it was really cool.
Yeah, so like Mark said, it is one of my favorite movies. So Reese Witherspoon and Josh Lucas, if you haven't seen it, it's a really good movie. Really old, but really good. But yeah, we have this thing where every state that we're in, we always take a picture. And so I thought it was really cool because this one says Sweet Home, Alabama.
Yeah, it's just a thing we do. We stop at all the rest areas. Are you one of those people? Because we are. We stop at the rest areas. There's a lot of cool rest areas, too. Yeah. I think one of the pictures. Okay, so these next 3 pictures, there's actually a collage here that have to go together. Yeah. You'll see that it's Amy in a portalet.
Yeah, so...
At Floribama.
Yeah, so when we went to Floribama, we went up to pay to get in, and she said, "Oh, sorry, it's cash only." Like, what? Who takes cash only these days?
They do.
I guess so, but it was really cool to go into the portalet, it's the cleanest portalet I've ever been in, to get cash out to then go up and pay to get into the bar. So,
and of course I had to videotape it and take pictures.
Yeah, we were laughing hysterically.
I guess it's to keep the rain off of people when they come there. They must have a lot of rain or something, so they just it's easier to just use the portalet. So yeah. ATM portalet.
Yeah, really cool.
Different. Anyway, it's just so funny pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, next one's your picture.
Yeah, this next one is we actually used on one of the thumbnails, and it's still just my favorite picture from the whole New Orleans experience because they have all these wonderful murals all over town, which I just think is absolutely amazing. I love going into all the different towns and seeing different murals and things like that. But this one was a white house, and the doors are red, and painted on the front of the house is a big old clown face. And it just, to me, was probably the most interesting, quirky thing that I've seen in all of our travels. So I just thought it was really cool.
And, of course, we had to pull over and
take a picture of it.
And there's even a trash can out front. Yeah. I didn't even realize that. And it says Muck Ruck or something in the right corner.
Yeah.
But just like all the doors and windows, it's just, I don't know. it shows the spirit of New Orleans, I guess. There, it's just a cool shot, and like Amy said, we used it on a thumbnail to our first New Orleans video. If you haven't watched it, go watch it now.
Yeah.
Or later.
All right. So the next one.
Still New Orleans.
Yeah.
So we took a tour at the St. Louis Cemetery #1. The main reason we wanted to go tour a cemetery, because it's not very big. It was a cool cemetery, but was Nicolas Cage. We had heard he had a very unique tombstone there. Of course, he's not dead yet, but when he's buried, he plans to be buried in this pyramid, and he has an inscription inscrawled on the front of it. And it was just pretty cool when we saw it. It was just neat. And they say he visits there often, and he owns some other property there. So it's just really neat.
The tomb, as you can see, is actually like a pyramid. And I'm not going to even try to pronounce the Latin word for it, but it means everything from one when you translate it. It is 9 feet tall. It is, it was pretty interesting. So Mark's a big Nick Cage fan, so we had to check it out.
Absolutely. Oh, my favorite picture coming up here. And again, some of these pictures aren't the best pictures. This one is, but some of these aren't the best pictures, but you don't have to have the best pictures to have good memories from them. And it kind of sparks emotion, and you can go back a year later and look at it and be like, oh, that was so much fun, like we did. But this is a picture of Amy in the French Quarter. We were sitting there listening to jazz music, and I had to secure a seat for us because I don't know if you can tell in the background, it's kind of blurry. A lot of people were there, and so these jazz bands are playing, and it's called Café du Monde.
Something like that.
Café du Monde?
Yeah, I think
Something
so.
like that?
I know we're not pronouncing it right.
But it's in the French Quarter. It's really cool. The lines were super long, and I wasn't sure if I even wanted to go in there.
Definitely worth it.
She came back with a bag of bidets.
No,
and
beignets.
Oh.
Bidets
Oh,
toilet
okay.
things are beignets.
Bidets. Sorry,
he always says it wrong.
Scratch that part. Beignets.
Yeah,
Beignets.
Beignets.
They're like a croissant.
It's like a fried donut with a bunch of powdered sugar.
And it's this
Very
big
good.
bag, and you just dip it in there, and you get it. We're not the only ones. Everybody, if you look around, everybody has like white powder
everywhere.
And then like there's other couples over there shoving them in their lovers' faces or whatever, their spouses' faces and partner. And it was just fun, and they're so freaking delicious.
They are.
It's the best donut.
It was definitely worth
Beignet.
It was
Beignet,
definitely worth a 45-minute wait.
So I'll always remember that. It was really cool. The coffee was good too, by the way.
Yeah.
Staying in New Orleans, your picture that you stole from me.
I know, I'm sorry, but and this was again, it was another one of our thumbnails, but it brings back such a laugh every time I see a marshmallow. Now I think of it being swamp crack for the Gators. But our airboat tour guide was just his thick Cajun accent. It really just made
Hey guys, what you doing? There's a gator coming. You know, why you get so quiet on the boat? I know a guy that can take care of your problems for you.
Yeah,
I can't do the accent.
No, but that was pretty good though.
No.
I think you're getting a little bit better every time you tell the story.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Anyway, so it was just such a great experience.
Yes.
It really added to the whole thing. I'm so glad. I mean, we've thought about doing it here in Florida, and maybe we probably will the next time we go down to the Keys or the Everglades, but to do it in the swamp in Louisiana, and this picture with the big old gator, I mean, this thing was probably about 12 feet long. I mean, it was a nice sized gator.
Yeah, that was one of the last gators we saw. It was just swimming up towards like the movie Jaws. Dun, 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 and we got all quiet. Yeah. And then he ended up bringing, the gator went under the boat, around the boat, and then resurfaced. And then
he was waiting on that swamp crack.
He popped out the swamp crack, and that sucker came right on the board with us, on board with us.
Yeah, so it was really cool.
Yeah. And San Antonio, Texas.
Well, next up, Texas. So as we stated, we always stop to get pictures at the rest areas with all the signs and some of the cool things at the visitor center and check them out and everything. It's just something that we do. But we always try to also take a picture of the Aloha, which is our van. If you haven't watched our videos before, it is a Thorscope 18M. But the van likes to have her own selfies as well.
Oh, you stole my line. You
Sorry.
stole my line. That's my line. I'm just kidding. That's a good line, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She does. She's part of the family now. So Amy takes her selfies. I take my selfies. Then we take is it a couple selfie?
Yeah.
If you take pictures of a couple.
Yeah, I guess.
Is that a selfie, too?
I don't know.
And then Aloha
Yep.
likes selfies, too.
She does.
She likes to be included.
Yeah, and this one was really great because you're in Texas and everything's big in Texas, and they have this huge star. So
the next picture I picked, I hope it did the trick and fooled you. I don't know. Does it? Does it? You tell us. Does it look like the airboat is attached to the back of the Aloha? Comment below. Let us know what you think. That was my quirky idea as we were leaving. I was like, Amy, what if we back the van up to the airboat and make it look like we're pulling it? I don't even know if the Aloha can pull that much weight.
I don't think so. She's really tiny.
I don't know how much airboats weigh, but I just thought it was a cool picture. That's in the parking lot. Yeah. So moving on to...
We're in San Antonio.
Oh, wow.
We got a little out of...
Yeah, we got a little out of whack. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
We're trying to stay in order.
Yeah,
now we're going back. Picture it, going back to Texas. We were in the Riverwalk downtown of San Antonio, down there by the Alamo, and we took this boat ride along the river, and there was this big skyscraper. Well, there's skyscrapers everywhere.
Yeah,
just magnificent buildings, and it's just beautiful, gorgeous
architecture on the Riverwalk is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
It was a great, nice little stop along the way, but beautiful architecture.
Yeah, in this particular picture, it just got me with the fire escape going down the side of the building, and this is just one of the many pictures we took there, but it just, I don't know, I like this picture for some reason. It's all rusted out, rails and stairs, and it makes me want to get out of the boat and go climb it up to the top. It does. Bucket list item? San Antonio, again, just to keep track, sorry about that. We have a picture of, oh, this is yours.
Yeah, it's mine. Only because everywhere we go, Mark has to get crab cakes.
Yes.
Like, that's his thing. He likes crab cakes from...
They're delicious.
Everywhere.
And
so we found this place called Landry's. It was a little more on the expensive side, not something that we do a whole lot. But, I mean, it was nice little break. But, yeah, Mark's $45 crab cakes, as he says, with his 3 stalks of asparagus and just 2 crab cakes.
$45.
Yeah.
Oh, did I spoil it for you? $45 crab cakes. Who gets $45 crab cakes?
You did.
I did.
But Mark said they were the best crab cakes he's had. And he's had crab cakes in Maine, Maryland, you name it, everywhere we've been.
You always forget about New Hampshire.
Yeah, New Hampshire.
Before this place, they had the best crab cakes.
Yeah.
The
Landry's?
Portsmouth,
Yeah.
New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Ooh, right on the water.
Yeah.
But crab cakes are good, but I just don't know. $45 for, and you can see there's only like 2 crab cakes, a little thing of rice, and a couple, there's what, 3 asparagus on the plate?
There's 3 stalks of asparagus.
And that's not even including the drink. So, I mean, she told me that we were going to eat expensive and we were going to eat nice. Yeah. So I was like, okay.
It was the beginning of the trip. We were starting to get into some of the, I don't want to call them smaller states because they're really not smaller states, but we had heard a lot about once you get out west, Texas? You don't have as many restaurants. And Texas
New Mexico?
Was not small.
Not small.
But we heard that the restaurants and things like that, you're kind of more out in the open. It's more mom and pop, and sometimes you have to really have your own food. So, wanted to eat something big to kind of commemorate our
They
trip.
were the best crab cakes. We'll stop it there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. All right.
I admit it to everyone. So far, by far, Landry's, San Antonio, downtown, Riverwalk. $45. If you got $45 for crab cakes, go get them. Enough about crab cakes.
All right.
The next picture is hitchhikers may be escaping inmates.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, Mark just retired recently in May. He was a police officer for 27 years in all kinds of different divisions. He ended his career in investigations. But I was talking to my friend on the phone, and we're just driving through Texas, which is a bunch of nothing but land for like miles and miles and miles. And we saw the sign, and I'm like, you have to turn around and go back and take a picture. It's just hilarious. The quirkiest thing.
She started screaming at me. She's like, you want to turn around. Go turn around. And whoever she was talking to on the phone was telling, you need to turn around and get a picture.
She was kind of egging them on to you. So
I mean, obviously the sign's there for a reason. So there must be like a prison nearby or some illegal aliens escaping or something, because we were right there close to the border. I don't know, but we did it. We turned around and drove back 5 miles.
Yeah, it was 5 miles, I was going to say.
Pulled over. All these cars were like staring at us as we got out, thinking I'm an escaped convict or something. I don't know what they were thinking. But so she's like, stick your thumb out like you're hitchhiking. So I did it, and she took some shots, and it turned out to be one of the funniest pictures that we took on the trip, I think.
I think it was.
It's just cool.
It's up there with one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wasn't hitchhiking for real. So it's bad to hitchhike. Don't do that. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
So moving on to Big Bend National Park. This picture here is another Aloha selfie. And she wanted to be seen in this vast, enormous, beautiful desert with green shrubbery on both sides. And this was, I don't know if this was coming out or going into the park. I can't remember that part, but we just had to pull over, and I was taking pictures of the van. It was just beautiful, and I love this picture. And you can see all the mountains in the background.
Yeah, and we didn't do any color grading or anything to this picture.
Nothing to this picture. That's what it looks like.
It was absolutely. It's just really. It's a really cool shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another Big Bend. That's yours.
Yeah. So this one is mine, and we've seen all kinds of sunsets and sunrises. Well, mostly sunsets because I'm not a morning person, but we've seen a lot of sunsets. But being from Florida over the ocean, and they're all beautiful, but this particular sunset in Big Bend and another one that I think we'll showcase later down the road was just absolutely amazing shots. It was probably the most beautiful sunset I think I've ever seen. So the next one is actually...
Oh, you added one on...
I did add one because... I
see this one.
I know. As we were going through, I just think this is such a cool shot, just kind of like the Aloha, where Mark's walking down the middle of the road, you're out in the middle of nowhere in Big Bend, there's nothing behind you but the desert, the mountains, and I just thought it was a really cool shot.
Hoping no cars come by.
Yeah, definitely. I might have to get this one framed because I just like it so much.
The next one is Border Patrol. So this was, real quick, this was... coming out of the park, I know that there was a Border Patrol check. So, but before we got that, a mile or so before we got to this point, we hadn't seen any animals. All we saw was a coyote. We saw a deer cross over by the Rio Grande when we were leaving the campsite. But this was a humongous deer.
It's the hugest deer I think I've ever seen.
It was big. So I gotta turn around, and it's only a 2-lane highway, as you can see. So I made a U-turn, went back, and got out, and of course. Couldn't find it. So I don't know if Border Patrol's like got people hiding like camouflaged out in the desert, or if they got like video cameras watching, or like you were asking if they had infrared.
Yeah. And
that can just, check your car as you go by or something, or satellite dish. I don't know. But anyway, we saw 2 Border Patrol guys whiz by us, and then they made U-turns. I'm like, oh, they're coming after us. So when we got to the checkpoint, I knew we were pulling over. They were swarming up behind us. They weren't swarming. There's 2 of them. That's some cop talk. But I pulled over. He was real nice. He's like, did y'all come from the park? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, did you make a U-turn? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, can you tell me why? And I'm like,
he's a little embarrassed, I'm sure.
Saw a deer. We hadn't seen it. Anyway, it was a really cool shot.
Yeah, it was. And they have a lot of human trafficking out in that area because you're right on the border of Mexico and the United States. So it's really bad. So it's pretty cool, though, to see them doing their jobs and trying to cut down on that, because that's just, it's an awful.
Apparently, we're going back to Carlsbad, New Mexico. Or no, that was next.
Yeah, Carlsbad was next.
I'm getting confused. Okay.
Yeah, Carlsbad was next.
So we went into New Mexico. Is this yours?
It is mine.
Okay, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, this one's mine. It is Carlsbad. And again, it's the Aloha with her selfie. And I just
And Amy.
Yeah, I got my thumb sticking out there, but I just thought it was really cool when we saw the big old Carlsbad sign and the Aloha wanted to take a selfie. So
Yeah, you can see all the clouds in the back. It's kind of overcast. And as soon as we came into New Mexico, we were welcomed by these huge, gigantic boots, a train car. Is that what you say it?
Yeah.
At the city hall. And it has a lot of history in that town, and it's really neat. A lot of museums and different things you can go see there. Yeah. But this sign is just, again, no edits to the photo. It's just how it came out, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. And then the next one's mine. So on the way, on a trip so far from Florida all the way to Texas up to New Mexico, we kept seeing these signs, and these signs always had these group of cows congregated at the bottom, at the base of the signs. And Amy's like, "Oh, this is so cool." She would roll her window down, like hang out the window, make me stop suddenly to
it's just so quirky.
To get pictures of the cows underneath the thing. But this one I actually was able to slow down and stop, and those aren't fake cows. Those are real.
No, those are real cows.
Those are real cows.
It's just quirky. I don't know why they hang out by this.
So we made it to our KOA campground.
Yep, and we were
greeted.
Go ahead. I'll let you tell the story.
It's your picture.
I know, but go ahead. You can tell the story.
We were greeted by two friendly aliens. Before this, I had never met an alien from outer space. They even had a sign that said "Welcome Earthlings" on it, and they were just really friendly. And they used some kind of mind trick. As soon as I got out of the van, they didn't say anything. They didn't speak. They just I could understand what they were saying. It was really weird. You have to go there to experience it yourself, but. They're like, "Come over and take a selfie with us." And I was like, "Okay." And I came over there. Anyway, they were really friendly.
Yeah.
It was cool.
So if you can't tell, I mean, besides all the really cool shots that, that we got of like some of the national parks and the backdrops and everything. But for me, I think that the greatest pictures are always the quirky ones. So I always make him take like really weird pictures.
So the next one is a picture of just the entrance to Carlsbad Caverns. The main cave there. They have 119 limestone caves in the park, but this picture I like it because it shows the switchbacks going down, and you end up going 750 feet, which is equivalent to 75 stories, a 75-story building, into the ground, into the base. And I just like this to show, because it's hard to take pictures and videos in the cave because of lighting. Although night mode did very well on the camera for pictures, it just shows how big it is. So I like that. But then the next picture is mine too. This is the black hole, they call it. It's where the light shines into a dark area, and you can see it lights it up. They do have some lighting up there, top right, but for the most part, that's mostly sunlit. It's just beautiful. And then 750 feet below, these two pictures.
Yeah, so it was a little bit of a nostalgic kind of feeling for me when I saw the postcards, and I didn't really think about it until then, but I had to get one so that we could mail it. Of course, we're 750 feet below in the cave, but I had to mail it to Charlie. They said that they've been mailing those since, I think, 1932 down there, which I thought was really cool. But every time my grandparents would go on vacation and we weren't with them, we would always get postcards in the mail. So it just really reminded me of my Nana and Papa.
Yeah. So only like 54 miles from Carlsbad, we went to White Sands National Park. And it is just beautiful. The gypsum dunes and the Chihuahuan Mountains range and desert. It's just beautiful. It just became a park. Just 2020, beginning of 2020, it was signed in by the president in 2019 as a park. It's like they protect 275 miles of the desert. But anyway, It's just me in the middle of this dune with footprints leading up to it, and it has my Sony camera, which we're filming on right now. I love my camera. Thank you. And then the next picture is mine too, and it's just a picture of me and Amy, and she's finally wearing her hat. She wanted to buy this hat so bad and wear it, and it wasn't until White Sands that she broke it out and started wearing it. But it just looks really cool, and I love this picture. I would love to have this one framed, and it's just awesome.
Yeah. So this next one is, again, going back to kind of quirky pictures, but this next one is of the world's largest pistachio. We did showcase it a little bit on the video. If you haven't watched it, go out and check it out. But all the way from Carlsbad to White Sands, there are all these signs saying world's largest pistachio, Alamogordo. Everywhere. So, of course, we had to stop. They were closed, unfortunately, so we couldn't get any pistachios. But I had to take a picture of the world's largest pistachio.
If Amy could have hooked that to a trailer in the back, I think we would have stole that big. No, we wouldn't have done that.
It's really cool, though.
Yeah.
I just thought it was pretty neat.
Really neat.
Yeah. My father-in-law, Mark's dad, and his girlfriend had went to White Sands last year.
Jenny?
And so, yeah, Jenny. So they actually were showing us some pictures before we left, and that was one of the pictures. So, of course, we had to stop. It was pretty cool. So Thanks, Ron, Jenny.
Moving on to the next picture is another Aloha selfie in the middle of this huge dune. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. All you see is just the white sand around there. I know. All you see is the white sand around there, and then just the little Aloha sitting there, you know.
Yeah, she's only 12 feet long.
Yeah, just I thought it
was a little tiny
really,
Matchbox car, like a Hot Wheels car.
Yeah, it did look like a Hot Wheels car, so I just thought it was a pretty cool pic.
This is my favorite pic, and I want this one framed for my birthday.
Okay.
October is my birthday, and we are celebrating by getting this picture framed. I want it. It's just Amy with her hand like this, and the sun's beautiful, the dunes are beautiful, you see the mountains in the background, she's just like shielding her eyes, I think, from the sun, and you see her footprints. It's just an awesome picture. And then this is me on top of the hill.
Yeah.
It depicts the little trails that we slid down.
Yeah.
That's your picture, sorry.
It doesn't look like it doesn't look like the hill is very big, but you have to climb like several of these hills to get to where you really could
you got to climb a dune,
down.
Walk across a dune, climb another dune. It's tiring.
It is very tiring, but this just makes me laugh every time because I just think about Mark, and the video's far more funnier than the picture, obviously, because you got to see Mark going down the sledding down the sand dunes. But
the next one's Amy going down. She hit a slow one.
Yeah, I don't think I had enough wax on my board.
If you zoom in on the picture or watch the video, if you haven't watched our White Sands video, go watch it. And she hit a slow one on this one, and she was just laughing. And then she did a little
so slow.
She did like a slow motion spin at the bottom.
Very, very slow.
Yeah,
down.
Funny. And the next one's just me being a kid.
Yeah, so
climbing a dune and running down.
Yeah,
just a cool picture,
like a little kid. So I had to take a picture.
And then 14 miles from there, I took a pee.
No, you didn't.
This picture, actually, I look at.
That's why he picked this picture.
Because my hand's down there, it looks like I'm taking a pee, but I'm not. I assure you guys, there's lots of people out there.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm not into that sort of thing.
So this picture,
but it's cool because I'm wearing my UFO shirt that my guys gave me for my team when I retired, and then you see in the background is like 45 miles worth of volcanic leftover remain black rocks,
lava rocks.
And there's, of course, there's a picture.
Here's a picture.
Get in, loser. We're doing butt stuff. This is for my graduation. For my retirement, this is what my boss and all my friends and coworkers gave me. They thought so much of me. They knew we were taking a trip out there. Yeah. And then there's a picture of a UFO just sucking me up in the air. Get in, loser. We're doing butt stuff. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
I thought it was the coolest shirt ever, so I had to order one as well.
There's your rattlesnake sign.
Yeah, so we kept hearing all these bugs the whole time, and I am scared to death of snakes. Like, I'm very adventurous, and I love to do, like, crazy stuff that Mark's always like, I don't know if you should do that, Amy, but, you know, I'm up for it. But snakes are not my thing. And there were rattlesnake signs everywhere. And so these bugs, which were cicadas, we think, were making these noises.
Really loud bugs.
Yeah, I kept thinking that they were rattlesnakes, but this is what a rattlesnake really sounds like. I'll let you cue the video. And that sounds like a tambourine a little bit, so a little bit different than those cicadas. So these last couple of pictures, I think are mine.
And they're spoilers.
They are kind of spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
You have some in here too. Sorry. But this one's just my favorite because Mark has his shirt on with, and
it says loser.
Get in, loser. No. But there's these big like satellite dishes out in the middle of nowhere.
It's the radio. It's where they do all the signals. It's actually a government facility.
Oh, well, it's pretty cool looking, but I had to take a picture of Mark and his shirt again. It's just kind of funny to me.
And you can see the gate behind me, so we're not like trespassing on the government property, but this is where they talk to aliens.
Oh, okay. But it was...
so it's comical.
Yeah, it was. So it was pretty cool.
And get in, loser. We're doing butt stuff. Thank you, guys.
So this next picture, although the quality is not the best, is...
can I tell them?
Yeah.
We're on our way to the Petrified Forest National Park.
Yep, which will be our next video.
Spoiler.
So check it out this week. But on the way, everybody was kind of getting out, and they were like just out of their cars and looking.
With their kids.
And we're like, why is everybody stopping? Like,
Families
I don't see anything.
On the side of the road.
Yeah, we're like, I don't see anything. There were no animals. I thought maybe there's wildlife or something. No. So this picture, though, I'm driving, and there is hail the size of quarters, and it's really hard to see in the picture. But I mean, they were like that big. And
it's scary.
It was very scary.
The windshield, the top of the van, just dong. And I'm trying to Google.
Like,
what do we do in a hailstorm? It says pull over, and she's like, "No, I'm going to." There's sunshine up ahead. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you can see it. It is sunshiny up ahead, but we're in the storm. So cool pick.
Yeah, but later we found out that I guess there were tornadoes or something in the way along that way, and so we had no idea. But that's why people were stopping because they were looking at them.
Just get the family out, make a picnic, and watch the tornadoes out there in the fields.
The craziest thing, but
the last two pictures, real quick, because we are out of time.
Yeah, sorry.
These are spoilers. This is Route 66. It is the only national park I think the only national park.
I think so.
That Route 66 actually goes through the park. So there's a big bridge that you have to go over when you're in the park driving, and you go over the bridge and you cross over, and on the other side is these neat little, there's like an old rusted out car. There's a thing on the ground that says Route 66. And then there's this picture, like a cement slab with a front of a car in the front. It's just really cool. I love this picture. And then the next one is at the actual museum. When you first get into the park, there's actually a cliff on the other side of me, and I got my Sony camera, and the sky is just like painted in the background. I just love this picture.
The rocks are really pretty there.
Yeah, it was really cool. That was it wasn't a bucket list item, but it's one she just added on sporadically because it was on the way.
It was right on our route.
Good planning.
Yeah. Good
planning ahead of time. Get you extra stuff like this. This picture right here. So anyway, that was fun.
So I
like that. That's fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Hopefully you did. Again, we just wanted to kind of share some of our memories and the pictures that we had along the way. We thought it was pretty cool. So hopefully you liked this episode. And
if you have a picture, send us a DM, send us a comment, send us a picture. We'd love to look at them and talk about them. And please subscribe to our channel.
Yep. Safe travels.
Tates Talk episode is Sunday, Mondays, somewhere around there. Somewhere at the beginning of the week, and then Wednesdays, Thursdays is our travel videos. So, and then we have more stuff coming up. Don't forget to check out www.thetatestravel.com for our journals weekly on our trips, where you can see more pictures and really dive into the details and history of some of the parks and plan your itinerary using our guides. Yeah. So,
hopefully you've enjoyed. Tate out.
Marcus Tate.
Tate out.
See how I did that? Marcus Tate. Now she can say Tate out. I'm going to have to change it up. Yeah. You didn't see that coming, did you?
No, I didn't.
Marcus Tate is out. And then she goes like this. The Tates are out. The Tate is out.
Tate out.
And then she put her hand over my mouth. Yes.
I'm done.